Alright. Welcome back, everyone, to Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. Bunch of shit happened in the last one. A little bit heartbreaking, but at the same time, we are still not done. There is still more to uncover, and this doesn't look like it's going to go well at all. I don't know what's happening here anymore. I don't know if she's purposely lying. I don't know if she's just a little bit weird. I can't tell anymore. We're just going to have to get to the bottom of it. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. Oh boy, did that really happen? I don't know. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. What the fuck did you think would happen? Oh my god. If only I could have protected you. Oh my, these two. They're made for each other. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true. Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves. That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe she just got stuff mixed up. It's possible. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. I think I already have an idea. Oh, brother. There's one I definitely want to press, but you know me, I'm going to do it all. Buttle. Let's get your buttle chain. Your chain of butt. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium. I mean, we probably don't need to press this part. But I'm going to. Because that's what I do. Maybe that's why I'm so good at it. Who knows? Or maybe I'm wasting time. I don't know. Could be both. Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this. But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me? Oh, alright. So, at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. Okay. Tell me more about that. That was the ransom money, wasn't it? Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And about how he had it gone. Okay. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. Why would he do that, though? Even if he didn't know she was his daughter, she wouldn't have been a threat. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. It's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Wait a minute, whoa, no, it wasn't. Isn't there something in here saying that he was injured? Hang on. Stole a gun from a guard, escape. Whereabouts unknown. He's yet to show up. Wasn't there something that stated that he was... Wasn't he, like, injured or something? Or didn't he get injured from escaping? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. You know what I think? Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just see what she says. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops. What are you doing? Please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. But the badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. Left hand. Left hand. Left hand. Left hand, left hand. Let me look at this. Indicate loss of blood, lower abdomen, like shoulder. Right. We know that. What about the costume? We have that, don't we? Ripped from the Bad Badger costume. That wasn't his left hand, was it? Oh, that doesn't show it. Where's the thing that shows it? Am I on the wrong track here? I may be. Here it is. Left hand. It's in his right. If he was in the Bad Badger and the gun was attached, that's what I'm thinking of. But wait a minute. We should present this. The Badger pointed the gun in his left hand. Either that or the dossier, but I think the dossier only says that he just escaped from prison. So I'm not sure if that's gonna do it. Oh, no? This isn't it? Oh, it's not. Miss Pops, this evidence stands in clear contradiction to your statement just now. Huh? Where? It's not polite to confuse poor helpless girls, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh, shit. Oops. It happens. Until you have something significant to add, stuff that jabbit of yours in your mouth. Don't talk about my jabbit. It's a cravat, and it's a fashion statement, not a gag. Yeah, really? I need to calmly listen and present my evidence. Was it actually the dossier? Because that doesn't really say it in words, but that's what I'm thinking they want. I'm gonna do it. Because that says right in here. Details is real history. That's what it is. The dominant hand is right. Is that what we're gonna go with? So I was thinking he was injured from this, but that's not it. And then I went to the Badger's hand with the gun, and that's not it. His dominant hand is right. It was right there in front of me, and I missed it because I was thinking of the wrong thing. Girl. There it is. Okay. It's fine. We're fine. It's okay. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Then... Person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. What you gonna say now, Wolverine? Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand. Yeah. And? Which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Oh, that's the angle you're gonna go with? Well, then how did he hold the briefcase as well? Tell me that. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? I was halfway there. Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who's never set foot in court to catch it. Zing. Good job, Miles. Enough with the smugness, out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier. There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. Yeah, how could he hold both? But we know, don't we? We actually know how it happened. That would explain the costume that had the thing ripped out of the hand. But we're probably not there yet, are we? According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand. Which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger. And yet, the Bad Badger had both his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Oh, wait a minute now! I think I might know! If they're saying it might not be the Bad Badger, it wasn't the Bad Badger, both hands are not occupied, both are correct. You know what, these don't usually come along unless this is actually it. You know what it could be? The head is missing, remember? We don't even know where it is. What if... She said the sunglasses. She didn't say anything about the pants. What if it was on a different costume's body? That could have been it. They could have mixed them up. I'm gonna go with this. It's standing out too much. Because I believe it was the Bad Badger. She probably saw the head of the costume, which we haven't located. Both hands probably were occupied. Probably had a gun of some kind, whether model or not. Probably had the suitcase, like she said, right? Okay. They're both correct.
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? That's exactly it. He wasn't wearing pants. None of us are, really. I mean, we can't see what's below your waist, Miles. You might not be wearing any either. This proves that there was no way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands. There was no way for him to freely use both of his hands. Oh, there was a way, not no way. This is it, isn't it? I forgot that we actually did have the head. I said we didn't locate it, but we had done. We had it actually early on and didn't actually make the connection with the body, which we also have. This is it. It was swapped. The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the bad badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different one?
A different badger?
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this one. Probably the proto one. Other than the regular blue, the thing is, right? It could have been this, but don't we have a body? Well, we have the bad badger's body and its head, but it's probably this one, isn't it? If it was this one is obviously out. You'd know right away. This one, it's got belts. She might have said something about that. I think it's this one. Yeah.
What the heck is it?
It's the proto badger.
Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. Oh god, I forgot she was wearing the blue one. For some reason I thought she was wearing the pink. I'm dumb. See, I come to these conclusions sometimes in a lucky manner. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto-badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume? Was it Lance?
That would be Lance.
Okay. Alright. Oh, girl, your handcuffs. What you want now?
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amino donned the bad badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon?
Was he double-crossing her? Oh, no. That's absolutely possible.
On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder.
He double-crossed her?
Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh?
There is but one reason, Lance Amino. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. Oh shit, though. I mean, that's absolutely possible.
What?
No!
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now.
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed. But what does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Oh shit.
Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the proto-badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet, the model gun. That's what it is, isn't it? It was ripped off. The missing one. That has to be it. It has to be. We found one half of a bad badger costume in the hideout, broken one. It was not the same one the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where is the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although, I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. Oh yeah?
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right.
However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. What do you mean?
Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
Now you're telling me this?
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained?
Woman, you gotta tell me everything at once. I guess we wouldn't have a game if she did that. Damn it. Alright, what you saw. Oh, Jesus.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
Well, how the hell did he do that?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking to the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes.
Yeah, right. I've heard that 3 times already.
Which means that the victim was still alive at the time, wouldn't you agree?
I don't know. Why does that sound wrong to me? It absolutely does. There must be something I missed about this account. Just one thing? I think there's more than one. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. Alright. What you saw. Let's do it. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. Okay. When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best route.
Oh, so each of them had their own roles to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout.
By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. Tell me more about that, though. How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like? He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Tell me more. I think that's the important statement. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to...
I see. Okay.
Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the 2 rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure.
Wait a minute. Wait. He had a bad badger's head on? Wait a minute. His head was left in the isolation room. Costume separate into head and body. Wasn't this head in our room? Ma'am, this is a Wendy's? You need to stop lying to me.
That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
What if it wasn't, though? What if it was us? Oh, dude! She saw a bad badger head? Captive had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Oh shit, wait a minute. It was left in the isolation room. That isolation room where we were. Oh my Christ. What if it was us? Yo.
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
It was us. The person you actually saw was this person. Oh my god. It's all— oh shit! This is where it gets good! It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I'd handed over the ransom? Yeah, why? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But, in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? Oh, I think so, because I just heard your brago, girl. You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with the bad badger's head on. I got a question. If he only had the head on, surely she would have seen his red suit and made the connection, no? The other guy was wearing something completely different. And then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean pretended?
Girl, I think he was setting to double-cross you.
Exactly that.
I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back. Okay. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. Oh, you did, didn't you, boy? I can tell by the way you strained to take a poop. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, he then escaped via the passageway.
What now? Don't hide behind him. That is not going to help you.
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. How do you know? Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to the beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Ugh.
Wait a minute.
Who said that?
Who did say that?
Oh, hey. What's up, Pops?
Please wait.
Mr. Amino? Yo, what up, dude?
Hub, hub, hub. Miles, my boy, it looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad.
Oh my, that's all you're gonna say to him?
Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh? Do you now?
Oh?
Is that what I think it is? Where was that?
It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing. And a gun?
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and filed these myself.
How convenient.
It appears they were disposed of in the sea.
Duh, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
No, not really.
There. Don't worry, Agent Lang. Please calm down.
What the heck is that scrap of paper?
2B, why don't you tell us? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police, beep boop. Please allow Mr. Amino complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area, beep boop.
There now.
Wow, this guy's got, I think he's got a bribe in people's pockets, that's what I think.
There's no need to be so upset.
I'm not a cop from this land. I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
Ugh. I can't really say no to that, however, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, let's take a look at this new evidence.
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensic research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the test.
Isn't that a conflict of interest, sir? Judge Judy would not stand for that.
No, sir.
They verified that the blood in this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache.
Oh no. He doesn't want to see the truth about his son. Oh, no, of course. Daddy, please, shut up.
Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence.
You're probably in on it somehow.
With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it? These are the case-marking pieces of evidence? Making, sorry. I'll be the judge of that. That was a good pun, Miles. I like that. Right. Well. Alright, well, let's do the easiest thing and start with this. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Alright, okay. So we've got that. What else? Can we examine the costume in general? No. Well, let's look at both guns. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Revolver data. What about the other one? There's nothing unusual about this area. Really? I guess that's the one that's just sewn in? Okay. What about... Oh, yeah, we can look at the head. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head. Again? Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. Is that piece of the broken mirror? From the room? Okay. Okay. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they here? Okay. Yeah, from the broken mirror in the room that we saw. The kidnapper's room. Okay. That's it? Oh.
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen?
Not really. I've seen better.
Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over here.
Shut up. Good crap. Now what you gonna say? You really got more to tell me? Oh my god.
Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
That's it? That's what you have to tell me? Excuse me. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly.
Why the heck you lying?
But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes.
Yeah, wow. What a hero. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You wound me. Why wouldn't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
Because I don't like your face.
I already said it.
I don't want to talk about your buttle, either. Decisive evidence, my foot. Here we go, then. Judge Judy, get behind the wheel with me. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. Yeah, whatever. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensic techniques money can buy performed.
Uh-huh. How convenient again for you. I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Whenever they tell you to do this, you should do this. I can only think of one time when it didn't work. Yes? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pops' print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pops' print should not be on the gun is... The reason why... So they brought out a whole Bad Badger costume. But... when at the time of the shooting, gunpowder burn is proof he was shot from point blank. Let me think about this. Oh, okay! You guys, I think I know. I could be wrong. Don't let me be... I think I've got it. Costume separate into head and body. This head was left in the isolation room. Girl, shut up! It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. A costume. Bitch.
Huh?
But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Oh. Is that a euphemism? Girl, did you? It's okay, you can tell us.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout.
Are you lying? Are you lying to save him? Don't. He's about to double-cross you, I'm telling you.
I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is where Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Amino? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance.
What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her.
Yeah, sure.
But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. It's this, isn't it? Because gunpowder burn is proof that he was shot from point blank. This is it. At the stadium, it wasn't point blank range. We already went through that whole scenario, right? It was different. It's gotta be this. Let us take another look at this costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it's gotta be the bullet hole. Oh my god. Touchpad, don't fail me now.
This is important.
The burner on this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point blank range.
So you mean the murder Miss Oldbag saw at the stadium really was?
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. Yup. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be gunpowder burn. Yeah.
Look at you, Mr. Smartypants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Len set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was in prison was... I mean, they're the ones that jumped him, right? And that happened at the haunted house. So that's got to be where it was. There was also a broken mirror in there. I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here. It's got to be the haunted house. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. The mirror fragments, so it wasn't in the other room at all. That was a red herring because you're supposed to think about that like I did. And then, of course, forgetting until you see this photo that there were mirror fragments everywhere. That's gotta be it. Oh my goodness! Yes! These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? What does that have to do with anything?
Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house.
Seems unsafe.
Lance Amino, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. Is that a Clue reference? I am living for it.
Miles Edgeworth is Tim Curry.
After that, you stole the Blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. What you gonna say now?
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Amino, but I cannot do that.
What now? You have been a thorn in my side completely. Be quiet.
Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense.
Ernest Amino, correct? I meant you. Be quiet, Gramps.
Oh shit, thanks Wolverine, thank you.
How dare you?
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence, decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What? He doesn't believe it?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Oh, he's gonna use that, because we thought of that as well.
Yes, Beep Boop, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house.
Yeah, but there's no shards on it.
You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there?
But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
What now?
Why are you bugging me?
Probability? Langzi says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
I don't know.
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See, so since you don't have any, shut up.
I can't believe we're still dragging this. Unbelievable. Is it me, or is this one, like, super long? I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. Maybe we have to go into the haunted house and look around there. Maybe that's what needs to happen now.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted, but you're not such a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. You gotta agree with that, right, dude? He has to.
Sheena,
I'm here, Beep Boop.
put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Who's holding it? Why are we holding?
Who was that?
No. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Amino?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this.
Look at this paper.
He wiped his butt with it.
What is this, Sheena? Can you not read?
It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed? You own that too? What the fuck would you want to own that for?
Read it out loud.
Gatewater Land Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amino for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash.
Well, how convenient for you, sir.
What?
Bro, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you...
I ran into the owner of the park and we made the deal almost immediately.
Uh-huh.
How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million.
Because you pulled it out of your pants? That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it. You may have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on.
Are you serious right now? Old man!
Discuss? What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
What the fuck? Someone punch this man! While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amino was out there preempting us. Oh shit, now what?
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
What are you gonna do? Flap your earlobes on me? I think not, sir. Mr. Amino definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. Oh no. Oh, okay, well, we had a long episode, but that's okay, because things happened. Man, in the next one, I cannot believe this is still a thing. We're not to the bottom of it yet, but we will somehow get in there, I bet. Or do the best we can. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo.